Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Koki Creative. My name's Elena and I'm a part of the EA Creator Network. Today we're doing a speed build and this is my first build using the new Lovestruck pack, thanks to EA for gifting me the game code. So I don't have it yet while I start building it. This is all base game up until I add the new pack, which is actually pretty obvious because I start going wild with all the new wallpaper, but we will get to that in a little bit. I decided to start with the structure since I wanted to do something really difficult. This is not my first completely curved build that I've done. This is my second. My first one was a couple of years ago, and you can see why I haven't done one in years, because it is extremely complicated. Or maybe I just have a hard time with these things, but it is a tad bit glitchy, but it is completely functional, and it turned out pretty cool, even though while I was building it, I thought about clicking that bulldoze button multiple times, but I didn't, and I'm glad I finished this, because not only is it curved, but it's also on a diagonal. What I really need to do is make a separate tutorial on how I make the walls wavy like this, because the curve in part is the difficult part. I actually have to rotate the curved wall around so it's back to back essentially with the actual circle curve. So I can't get rid of the flooring on the curved wall, what's underneath. If I delete the flooring, the wall disappears as well. So the hard part of that is that there's going to be exterior walls that have flooring. So I made some balconies here to just make it look a little bit more natural, and of course, because I wanted to make it hard on myself, I decided to make those curved as well. Here I'm just trying to connect all the floor pieces together. This is another difficult part about working with curved walls and connecting them all together. It's just, there's just a lot of little issues like this. I don't even want to call them issues, it's just like it's just difficult. I don't know, but I have noticed while building this, because this is not my first curved wall build, that they have improved on some things. I was able to place items a little bit easier in this than I have in the past. Like before, if you're trying to place items under a curved ceiling, you can't. You can't even like select the item if you're in gameplay. I've noticed this is actually, it's just a lot better. They fixed a lot of these things, or maybe I just didn't notice them as much in this build. You're gonna notice I cropped a lot out of this because when I tell you I had to mess around with things, this build gave me such a hard time. The first curved wall build, I keep referring to this one. The first curved wall build that I did not record it because I knew it was going to be really tricky and that I was going to have to try a whole bunch of things, and I didn't want to edit all that stuff into a video because I knew it was going to be way too long for a build that was not big enough to be worth that long of a video, if that makes sense. Oh, and you're going to notice a lot of swatch changes. I wanted to make it kind of a romantic color palette, so I thought about purples for a little bit, but I ended up going with like a black and red. You'll see that later. It's going to go through a couple different transformations before it actually reaches what it is. And on the ground floor, I decided to go with like angles, a lot of triangles, and still I added the circles, like this tree. I love that tree that has little circle bulbs at the end of them, and then I had some circular bushes. But I thought it would be kind of cool since the ground floor has this square tile. I thought it kind of matched okay, let me backtrack. I'm building this in Del Sol Valley, and the world around it has these large square tiles, and I wanted to blend in as much as possible with that concrete floor. So I used those, and I thought, oh, this is kind of weird because the build itself is so curved, and then everything is so angular. If you look around the world where I'm at, a lot of stuff is very angular, a lot of triangles. So I tried to mimic the lot next to me, which was not even a lot. That's just like part of the landscaping around the world. So I tried to mimic that, having a lot of triangles and sharp shapes. That makes sense on the floor. And then the build itself is very curved. It was originally supposed to be 3 stories, but then I realized as I was building this that I do not want to deal with that. So it's now only 2. But I have all that you need inside of the build itself that I didn't find it necessary to have a 3rd story anyway. So this is how I tried to deal with the issue where the floor, this is one hard thing about curved builds, curved walls. The flooring is a little glitchy around the curved section. So I decided to use this green flooring. This is like grass flooring that you can find in the other category or whatever this is, like outside flower flooring. Doesn't matter. It's base game. That's all you need to know. And I tried to cover up all the concrete with these low-lying pale yellow flowers. My favorite little low bush, but I covered all of that in. And you can see I have to zoom in to place those plants because I was having issues After the curved pool update, that's when I started noticing it having less of those placement issues. But then again, could just be a coincidence. I don't know. But yeah, it took me a second to place all these things just because of how difficult it is. I have to zoom in and place the bushes and blah, blah, blah. A lot of the bushes I chose were circular because I wanted to go with the theme. Again, round. I didn't really have much of a vision for this build besides my original vision, but let me tell you, it hit me. I knew that the curved bars were coming with the new pack. I knew that there was going to be a new nice curved bar. The only curved bar we have up until now is from Journey to Batu, and I have that as a placeholder right there. You can see. When I first imagined this build, it's like you walk into the room and that's in the very center. It's not supposed to be just a pool in the center of the bar. It's supposed to be a fish tank, and I didn't end up putting fish or anything in there. I just kind of left it as a pool, but my vision was a big fish tank in the center of the build. You walk in a huge rounded bar. But then I got really ambitious and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I also made the whole entire build curved? So that plan changed a little bit. The curved bar situation, though, turned out really cute. So maybe in the future I will have a square build, rectangular build, whatever, with a giant circular bar in the center like that. That's just an idea for the future. I'm just going to file that one away. But I also added some fountains because why not? Water feature is always nice. There's this big red sign that comes with base game. I love using that one. If you ever play in some of my builds, a lot of your community lots will have that sign. So it's like all the same business. I don't know. But we don't have many big signs to work with, so I use the big red sign. Inside of the bar, I put a piano because I thought it would be nice to have a nice circular piano on a platform in the center of the bar, like a nice romantic atmosphere. I can see live music playing, just trying to make it a little bit more swanky rather than like you go to a bar to party. This place is where you sit down, you enjoy the music, you enjoy company. Okay, let me talk about the staircase. So I edited a lot out of this part. I hated the staircase. It was so difficult to find a good spot that looked natural for it because I could have just plopped a staircase in this room and call it good, but I wanted there to be like a grand entrance. In a perfect world, I would have had it be more of a what's that word, like a loft, so you walk up and it's all open, but I couldn't. You can't remove the flooring again from underneath curved walls or else it disappears, like the walls itself. So I had to have it just be a normal staircase, I guess. But I thought I could dress it up a little bit more by adding these short fences and then, again, that green grass flooring to make it look like a planter. Try to make it look a little, I don't know, just a little nicer. I was having a difficult time placing the flooring just because, curved floors. There's so much I want to say about this build, and I just don't have time. I'm watching this and I just build too fast, I guess, for me to explain what's going on. A lot of these things that I'm doing are things that I could do their own little tutorial on. And honestly, when I was building this, I was just so grumpy. I started off so ambitious, so happy. I'm like, this build is going to be great. And I had a friend stop by and I was building this, working on it. I'm like, I want to bulldoze this. And she's like, don't do it. I said, I'm going to bulldoze this. It was a little bit past this part. I know it was right about when I was working on the staircase. And you can see how I have to place a wall down, like one section of wall, and then move that wall to fill in the space instead of using the wall tool to slide all the way across. It wouldn't let me close in rooms. It just was having an error. So the way to fix that, if you ever have this issue, the way to fix it is you have to, off to the side, a little wall piece, grab onto that wall piece, move it into the spot you want. The only problem is that it doesn't close off the room if you do that. It's just, I don't know. That's how you fix it. That's all you need to know. There's also another issue that I'll explain really, really quickly. When you download this, you might notice that some of the exterior wall paint will be missing and it will just be the standard construction gray. So what you need to do is take any other wallpaper, not the one that I use, but any other wallpaper. Don't place it, just put it up against the wall and remove it. Bam, the original wallpaper will reemerge. So don't ask me. It's a curved wall issue. Just know that that's how you fix it. If you're annoyed, it's almost every time I load this lot that happens. I'm hoping that it's a glitch that will eventually be patched up. So let me tell you what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to create spaces without closing off rooms because we know that there's issues with that. So I used a half wall here. I used some of these base game like black pillars to kind of make it look like dividing that room into a little bit more of a private space. Figured why not add a TV in a lounge? I don't know. I don't really go to lounge. I've been to a couple little lounges, but I haven't spent enough time in places that look like this to know how to build them. So yeah, if you've been to a lounge and you're like, this is not what a lounge looks like, then I'm sorry. But this is a little private movie theater, and I think that sounds really nice. Very lovely. But at this point, the color palette was black and white. When I was building this too, I'm not a huge fan of knowing what the new items are going to be. I kind of like to discover them after I download them, so I don't really look at a lot of like sneak peeks or anything like that, but I did get a sneak peek of some of the wallpaper, and I saw this cow print wallpaper, and I was obsessed. This was where, at this point where I'm building, I was thinking that once I got the new pack, I was going to use the cow print wallpaper on the exterior, and I was going to call it the Moolah Lounge. You might even see it up in the corner where it has like the name of the lounge up in the top left. Yeah, it says Moolah Lounge. So I had the vision of using the cow print wallpaper. That ended up changing later on, but in my heart, this is still the Moolah Lounge. So let's keep talking about what's going on. So for the lighting here, I thought it would be nice to add some of these like floor lights. They're kind of like, I think pool lights kind of, or any floor lights. So I add them all around the edge of the circular pools. I also put them upstairs a lot. We'll see that later. But I put them all around the ledge of the walls, the edge of the walls. And I think it looked kind of nice. It lit it up nice. Unfortunately, because of the fact it's a curved build, again, I'm going to say that 1,000 times, I couldn't close off the room. So some of the rooms have that weird lighting, that's like, the room isn't officially a room. It's kind of like gray in the inside, and when you try to put a lamp, it doesn't quite illuminate the room. You know what I'm talking about. If you build on The Sims, you know what I'm talking about. This is the rooftop deck, and I was not going to roof this thing. I tried. I played around with a couple things. It just looked stupid. So I decided to do rooftop deck, which was a solid choice. Always a solid choice. If you have a community lot and you don't know what to do with it, rooftop bar. If you don't want to roof anything, just do something with the roof like this. I don't know. So this is the rooftop bar, which I like the way this turned out. It's kind of cute. It's romantic. And I use half walls, but very, very high half walls. And I end up doing a couple other fancy things like making a lattice roof. I'll just call it that. So I made a little lattice roof with short base game fences. And this is something I do quite a lot. I like that you can even make this using base game. You can obviously use other pack items to make this, but I find that these low fences from base game make the best roof for these lattice ceilings. And I dress it up however I like. So right now I'm keeping the theme with black and white, so I have it all black. I don't think that changes, but I do change the columns later to some of the new columns that we get in the pack. And on the roof top of the lattice, I add some plants to make it look like ivy's moving along. Just think it dresses it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more romantic. FYI, this is on a 40 by 30 lot, so it's not too big, not too small, fits in many different places. And I said earlier, it is in Del Sol Valley, which comes with Get Famous, and I'm not even using that pack in this build, which is kind of funny. I haven't even built in the new world yet. I'm very excited to. I've been very busy. I've been traveling. I went up to go visit my family and winterize our RV, even though it is August, but we had to do it because I'm not going to be up there until the next fall. And then I had to go to Chicago for a routine procedure because I have Crohn's disease. I had to go take care of that. And now I'm back and I move tomorrow. So I'm just trying to fit in this little voiceover the best I can. Anyway, let me tell you about what I'm doing right here. So this is a little heart, and I'm making this out of like pool wall lights. I do end up kind of readjusting some of it. So if it looks a little wonky now, I do kind of fix some of that. I also change all the light colors to like a pinkish red. I wanted to make it look really romantic. It looks really cool at night. And I do add a couple of more hearts later. I don't know if I show that or not. I cannot remember. And I also add these little pillows. Those came with the base game update, and they come in a ton of different swatches. I downsized some of them too to kind of give a variety of size. Use the 9 key to lift them up, and your Sims can still sit there. Here's the live music area. This is on the other side. And so you can grab your drink when you walk up the stairs. Walk on over here. I add some table and chairs, enjoy some live music. I put a little microphone so there can be singing. There can even be some jokes and this nice grand piano. So while I'm finishing up this roof, let me tell you a little something funny. So I'm moving tomorrow. I got back home yesterday from that trip that I just mentioned, and so we have to pack tonight. And we don't have that much stuff since we moved down here, had to get rid of like most of our things. Like we don't have furniture or anything like that, but we do have a 500-pound weight limit on the airplane. So we're moving to another island and very excited about it, but it does take up a lot of time to get resettled and readjusted. So I wanted to finish this video before I even went on that trip. I just didn't have time. I'm surprised I even finished this build, to be honest. I brought my laptop on the trip hoping that I could finish it maybe while I was there, but I just didn't have time. I probably could have tried, but I mean, then at that point it would be like I'm not even living my life and I'm just trying to make videos, and I mean, what's the point of that? So yeah, I have this one day and I'm putting off packing because that's what I do. I'm really good at that, but I will get it done. It will get done. I'm very excited to see Coconut in her new little space. She loves moving. Little Cokie Coconut. Our dog, if you don't know who I'm talking about, yes, my account is named after my dog. Love her. She is really good with moving. We've moved so many times. I don't know how many times my husband and I moved through our 12 years of being together, but probably somewhere around 18 to 20. So it's not like we haven't done this thing before. Okay, so now I have the new pack. Let's get going. Let me start talking about this. So I decided to choose this wallpaper for the exterior, and this is like you don't know if you can see it from here, but it's almost like black wall ivy, not black wall ivy, the black wall with green ivy falling down. It would probably be mostly used for interiors, but I thought it looked good for the exterior, so that's what I did. And now I'm going around and replacing a lot of the items, and this is a very exciting time for me because I pretty much was done with this build at this point, and now it's all about replacing items and putting things in the spots. I have the filter on, so all I can see are the new items, so I'm able to kind of look at what is new. I also didn't show in the video me putting windows down because I changed that so many times, so I am going to show you a little bit. These are new windows. They are just basic. You know, I'd like the size of them though because they're a little bit shorter than the short ones, and I thought they kind of fit with what I was going with here. But I readjust the windows so much. I just wanted to use new pack items. I mean, you probably don't even notice that they're different windows, but I do like that they are slightly different size than what we have. I use these archways leading out to the deck, or the balcony, I guess you call it, because I just thought those looked nice. I was going to try to use other doors, but I didn't really like any other doors for this situation, so the arches look nice to me, so that's why those are there. It's all open, nice and breezy. That would feel nice. And now we're moving on inside, and I'm using wallpaper all over the place. I was having so much fun with this wallpaper, and I cannot wait to do more builds just because of all the wallpaper options that we have. The bathroom is all cow print, so I know I was supposed to do cow print on the exterior, but I still had to include cow print somewhere, and I kept it for the bathroom. The other walls, I used a little bit more of a sexy wallpaper. So we got the snake skin. Then we have this like cheetah print. There's also snow leopard. There's a whole bunch of different animal print. I love the flower wallpaper that I'm using here, but that didn't really fit with the theme that I was going for. So I ended up changing that to like snake skin. I use snake skin also on the round bar part, the fish tank, you could say, and the flooring too. Oh my god, it also comes in floors, so I'm definitely going to be using these floors all the time for a whole bunch of different things. And I also exchanged the bars with the new ones, so this is a good look at the new bars, the rounded curved ones, and I really like them. I think they are very classy, very pretty. The Journey to Batu ones have that, you know, Journey to Batu look to them, a little more rustic, so I was really excited to get some other curved bars. And I don't like to use Journey to Batu if I can help it, just because I know not a lot of people have that pack, so I just try to avoid it if I can. I'm also replacing the chairs, and I'm obsessed with this lip couch. Oh my god, so cool. So this is when I started to lean into the red. I see these lip couches and it changes everything. I'm like, okay, now we're going to have to put red all over. So I go around and I change some of the swatches so then the pops of red come out. And again, like, red is a very romantic color, and it was kind of the color that I was fighting using too, because I've used red in a lot of my recent builds. I just really didn't want to have another red build, but I couldn't help it. I mean, if any build is going to be red, it's going to be this one, the Ooh La Lounge. And think too, if you can remember what the balconies look like, think about it. when I was making them, they kind of looked like lips to me. So I wanted to paint them red. I really did. But every time I did paint them red, the inside of the build would also be clipping with red flooring. So it just didn't look good. I would have had them red if I could have helped it, but I couldn't. I mean, I could have left the glitchiness, but it just looked better when it was black. And now I'm adding just these areas right here, like entries with staircases. This doesn't really serve a purpose other than just getting people up and down the stairs. So I added just some extra seats and some painting there. I add low hanging lights on over the bar to just make it a little bit more romantic. I'm using that word a lot, but that's what this build is supposed to feel like. And not romantic in like just more of like a modern romantic. I don't know. I don't know what your definition of romantic is, but I guess, yeah, this is what I pictured for this build. I don't know. This is Del Sol Valley romantic. I have red around the pool, like there's red tile. I think I changed that out with black because I don't like the way it clashes against the green grass. But I do love the new pool tile that we have that goes around the pool edges. Finally, we have some of like actual pool tile. Oh, here's where I try to have the red. Doesn't that look kind of cool? Except for it doesn't look good on the inside. I'm a little bit picky with those kind of things, and this build is already like glitchy enough that I couldn't have that. Okay, this is like the little TV watching area, and the pops of red here, it really changes this room. It makes it feel a little bit more nightclubby. And you could probably change this into, I think there is nightclub as an option for, I'm trying to think of all the lot types that we have. I know there's bar. I'm pretty sure this qualifies as a bar if you want to change it to that. I like these new wall pieces that are like greenery. And here's where I add the lights all along the edges of the walls. And I do like the way this is. I need to do this more. I'm also like, I have to move pretty fast because I did edit a lot out of this. Like I mentioned before, I edited this build in this video quite a lot because there's just a lot of stuff that I did and that I deleted and that I had to retry. But the lights along the edges of the walls do look very nice. I feel like it kind of ties it together because I didn't want to put anything in this hallway where I had that pool right in the center. And here too, this is supposed to be like a private date area. So let's say you come here to meet someone. You meet someone at the bar downstairs, and then maybe you want to go somewhere a little bit more private to chat. This is a good spot. Or if you go on a date, come up here, bring them here. I'm sure people will still interrupt you, even though that was supposed to be patched out, but I still notice that happens. It's so annoying when I'm on like my Sims on a date with someone and they're chatting and then like flirting and, you know, being a little risque, and then someone walks up and makes it awkward. It bothers me. So annoying. Like, come on. But anyway, now I'm just like going around and trying to find everything that I'm missing. I try to make everything consistent. So sometimes I use different curtains in different spots, and especially in a community lot, I like those things to be consistent. Here is the balcony, and obviously I had to put those lip chairs on the balcony. I really felt like that fit the look, especially because I wanted those balconies to be red and I couldn't get them to be red. There's also these little heart end tables that are so freaking cute. I'm going to be using those a lot. I haven't yet used all of the items either. So like I haven't even used the heart bed. No, I haven't. I've only like played around with it, but I haven't built something properly with the heart bed. So that is on my list of things to do. I haven't even played this pack yet. I'm so excited to play. And it's August 4th. And I haven't played the pack yet. I've only built a little bit, but I'm really excited about the gameplay. I'm excited about playing around with like the dating app because that is definitely something that I have used in the other Sims. I'm pretty sure Sims 3 has that. I don't know. I feel like previous Sims have like online dating, and this is going to be so much better because I don't like when my Sim is looking for someone there and they like just show up to someone's house. Like sometimes I'll make a Sim for my Sim and it'll just show up at their house. I'm like, I want it to be a bit more organic. I want the story. I want to feel like I'm a part of the story rather than like forcing things to happen. Because that is more exciting. Like, I do go into a game kind of having an idea of what I'm going to play, but I sometimes just want to go in with no idea and seeing where things take me. And I feel like the dating app does give a bit more of a sense of like I'm playing the game and I'm letting things unfold. So for the rest of the build, I'm going around and doing the fine details. The thing is, what I always do, and I need to remember to maybe record this part, is that I finish a build and then I will stop recording. I'll go in the next day. I don't record for this, and I go play test. I go look at everything, make sure everything is fixed, make sure all the walls are painted, the ceiling's painted, all of that. I have like a little mental checklist, and I don't record that. So I do change a few tiny things. So if you download this, you might notice like there's a tiny differences. And if you do, like, good eye. I'm like surprised you can see those things. But yeah, not everything is going to be exactly the same, but that's just because I try to make sure that it's like the best build that it can be before I upload it to the gallery. Like, it takes me a while to upload something to the gallery because once it's up there, it's up there. There's too many times where I've uploaded something to the gallery and I realized that like I forgot to paint a room. I forgot to like add a room. One time I had this whole little addition that I completely forgot about, and it's just like a blank room. Doesn't matter. I mean, things like that happen, but I do try to do like a quality assurance check going through everything. I play at least like a day, so I had a sim come in here. I had them use everything that I could, and I did this like multiple times. So yeah, this is functional. If you notice any kind of issues, please let me know. I mean, usually people do in the gallery, they'll be like, hey, this doesn't work, but make sure before you place this lot that you're on the lot. Use bb.moveobjects on before placing. Thank you all so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up or subscribe. That would be really appreciated. Thank you in advance. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this build, about this new pack, and if there are any builds that you would like to see me do in the future. I'm always open to suggestions. But this build is available in the gallery if you want to download it. It's called Ooh La Lounge, and my ID is Koki Creative. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!